Order! 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 Very well. I hereby state the current opinion of the court. Baroque van Zieks is an outstanding prosecutor who has rendered great service to his country. However, it is with deep regret that I must concur with Prosecutor Azori's contention that the defendant's testimony exhibits a number of stark inconsistencies with the known facts. All I have done is state the truth and I know it. Kazuma's done a brilliant job as ever. He's drawing on his experience as a defense attorney to build his prosecution case. And it's formidable. Counsel, you will submit the board that you just showed the court as evidence. I believe it to be fundamental in establishing the facts surrounding the Reapers' existence. Ich hätte jetzt eher gedacht, dass Gregson diesen Ort genutzt hat, um den Reaper zu untersuchen, den Reaper. Also, dass er sich die Fälle angeguckt hat, um zu gucken, ob er identifizieren kann, wer das wirklich ist. Und nicht, dass Baroque da seine erfolglosen Fälle zur Schau stellt, wo die Zeugen, wo die Freigesprochenen, nicht die Zeugen, wo die freigesprochenen Angeklagten schließlich doch noch ihr Ende durch unnatürliche Umstände getroffen haben. Das wird ja warum sollte er das machen? Dann wäre er ja richtig psychopathisch. So. Also. Ich weiß es nicht. Ich hatte zuerst nur, dass Gregson da vielleicht was untersucht in Richtung seines irgendwie, er war ja auch auf der Liste drauf, wo die 4 drauf waren. Kazuma, die Shin, beziehungsweise die Giselle Brett, Tobias Gregson und Wilson war ja auch noch drauf, Dr. Wilson. Ob das damit was zu tun hatte und dass Baroque davon vielleicht Wind bekommen hat und deswegen da gesucht hat. Aber scheinbar, ich würde jetzt sagen, dass Gregson eher den Fall von Baroque untersucht hat. Also von dem Reaper, der ja eine andere Person als Baroque ist. Kann ich jetzt halbwegs safe sagen. Jetzt, wo wir Baroque besser kennen. So. Keine Ahnung. I believe it to be fundamental in establishing the facts surrounding the Reaper's existence. Thank you, my lord. The notice board has been entered into the court record. A freestanding notice board completely covers the notes and articles relating to victims of the Reaper of the Valley. And now, the prosecution would like to call new witnesses to the stand. Wir gucken uns das erstmal an hier. Okay. Hier ist erstmal Blut. Oh, what's this? Mr. Naruto, look! Oh yes, it's a smudge of some kind. In fact, it looks just like a handprint. And the color. That's blood, isn't it? Oh dear, how disturbing. The details of the notice board have been updated in the court record. There's a bloody handprint on the backside. Okay. Okay. There are details of a whole raft of cases dating back years from here, aren't there? This paper from 10 years ago is browning with age. Look. Out of interest, the most recent things appear to be this newspaper cutting here. Oh, it's the same red-headed leak advertisement that Mr. Sholmes had picked up. And do you remember, there was a red hairpiece at the scene too. Was Inspector Gregson an exponent of the red-headed leak then? Das Ding ist, warum sollte Baroque, wenn er nicht total psychopathisch wäre, die Fälle, die schon so lange her sind, wo seine Angeklagten freigesprochen wurden, warum sollte er die aufbewahren hier und anpinnen? Es wird doch eher Sinn machen, wenn der Inspektor, wenn der Detektiv hier was auf der Spur war, oder? Ich finde das alles sehr fragwürdig, die Theorie von Kazuma. The prosecution would like to call new witnesses to the stand. Witnesses who saw events unfold on the day in question. They were mentioned in the previous testimony too, if you remember. Yes, the street sellers who heard the gunshot and went running into the room. Very well. Lead the witnesses in. The defendant may step down from the witness stand. Certainly, my lord. Oh Gott. Schon wieder. Oh nein! Hat seinen Job als Kutscher verloren und muss jetzt auf der Straße Sachen verkaufen. Oh nein. So witnesses, state your names and occupations for the court. Names? We don't use names. Far too fancy for the likes of us. We are just free and easy. Say what we like. Live where we wanna live. Die sieht, also, für die das Spiel kennen, mit Professor Layton. Die sieht genauso aus wie eine der Hauptcharaktere in dem Professor Layton Crossover mit Ace Attorney. Die hat richtige Resemblance mit der. We are just free and easy. Say what we like. Live where we wanna live. I give them all a vacant stare as I walk down Fresno and spin a few words into a verse for them. Ah. Would I be right in assuming that all three of you make your living by selling words on the street? Hey, everyone calls me gossip. I sell jaunty little tidbits to passers-by, you know? Jaunty little tidbits. Got an absolute smasher for you, sir. Right up your chin, it is. 6 pence for is the price, and not a penny less. Wait, you're actually trying to sell it to me now? An absolute smasher for you, sir. Oh, come on, sir. Don't tell me you are not interested. Try the man. Give him the money and see what it is. Pay the man, counsel. Alright. 6 pence it is. You won't regret it, sir. Now got your listening ears on. Just between us, a young couple on Slade Street have just had twins. Is that it? No, that's not it. It's gossip, isn't it? It wants to spread, but that spits up to you and your mouth, of course. I've got more, you know. Want another juicy one? 6 pence a piece, it is, if you're curious. I am curious, yes, about what's going on just under that fat bottom lip of yours. Namely that unusual bruise or whatever it is that is poking out from under your collar. Stimmt, der hatte am Hals so eine Wunde. What about the next witness then? What name do you go by and what do you sell? Me? I am Venus. That's what everyone calls me. Funny, innit? I sell these lovely little fireworks to all the local school kids. Okay. 9! 6 pence a pop. What do you say? You weren't exaggerating with little. Do they actually sell? Oh yeah, the second years can't get enough of my Venus firecrackers. Especially when I tell them that if they get 100, they could blow up the school. Not the most savory of ideas, young lady. What do you say then, eh? Wanna part with 6 pence for a pop? Wait, what? You want me to buy one? Tell you what, I'll let you in on a little secret. If you get 100 of them, you could blow up the whole courtroom. Try the woman. Give her the money and see if she's right. Pay the woman, counsel. Alright, I'll buy one. Lovely stuff. Right then, this is something a bit extra, just for you. The Venus Special, only 600 pence. 600? Was? 600? It's 100 of my regular fireworks. Nothing little about that, is there? And there'd be nothing little about the punishment if I blew up the whole baby, either. the Venus firecrackers has been entered into the court record. The Venus special firecracker consisting of 100 smaller fireworks at 6 pence each. What sort of a bang could it make? And the last witness. What name do you go by and what do you sell? Okay, wir gucken uns erstmal die Firecracker an. Hier ist die Lunte. Have you had an idea, Mr. Naruhodo? You're staring at the end of the string of the fireworks. Sorry, it's just at the Venus special. I was wondering what 600 pence worth the fireworks would sound like. Shall we find out? What? But she said it could blow up the courtroom. Alright, that was a fairly sizable bang. My ears are still ringing, Mr. Naruhodo. It sounded almost exactly like... The details of the Venus firecrackers have been updated in the court record. Oh. It goes off like a gunshot. Das ist ja auch wie bei Edgeworth, oder? Da war doch auch solche... Da hatte Larry doch solche... Nee! War es Lotta oder Larry? Irgendjemand hatte da auch solche Firecracker, so kleines Feuerwerk, was sich anhörte wie ein Gunshot, was Lottas Kamera damals ausgelöst hat. Am Kürbissee. Am Gurtsee. Zack, zack, zack. And the last witness. What name do you go by and what do you sell? I'm a thinker, me. Think all sorts of thoughts. I think, therefore I am. I am, therefore I think. I think. Because I stand here on the street, watching the world go on about me, they call me the Observator. Get out of it, old man. Everyone calls you Sandwich and you know it. So, you don't actually sell anything. Problem shared is a problem halved, as they say. I give advice, I do, and think what it means. I don't actually sell anything, no. Come to think of it. Hot? Und was steht da drunter? Come to think of it. Pity. No more purchases today, please. Well, we have quite a cast here, it seems. They conduct their business on Fresno Street from morning until night, my lord. And always in the same place, directly adjacent to the crime scene. I see. And thus they heard the gunshot, I suppose. Not only that, but they very bravely ran inside to see what was going on and witnessed the crime. Well, I'd be beguiled, I thought. Just between us. Venus de Milo, what am I to do? What a terrible thing I saw. What I think is, if all what we see is light and shadow, playing with our eyes, is any of it real? Very well. The court will hear the formal testimony of these three witnesses now. You will describe in detail what you witnessed and heard at the time of the incident. Witness testimony. The witness's account. We saw the whole thing from start to finish, we did. Everything from the moment they went in the building. It was less than a minute after the Reaper had gone inside that we all heard a big bang. Seems to me that quick to talk is quick to walk. Gossip couldn't wait to go and see what had happened. I ran into the room and there he was, the Reaper, gun in hand, standing over the dead body. I was scared after death me, so I ran off to find a copper. If these witnesses were there the whole day and saw everything, who did they see going inside the building? Only the victim, Inspector Gregson, and the accused, Baroque van Leeks. I've seen pictures of the Reaper in the paper. I know what he looks like. And just between us, folk love stories like this. I've made myself a tiny summary. Okay. But wait, the room was just one of several flats in the building. Someone from another flat could have done it. All those flats on Fresno Street are unoccupied. Of course they are. They are small, damp, dirty and expensive to boot. The room in which the inspector was found is the only property in the building that's currently leased. And we know the leaseholder's name, don't we? It's Hugh Boone. The testimony the court has just heard would appear to leave little room for doubt. It's becoming increasingly difficult to see how anyone other than the defendant could have committed the crime. No. Thank you for your candor, my lord. Counsel for the defense, you may proceed to cross-examine the witness. Yes, my lord. In a closed court like this without a jury, the judge is the only person whose opinion matters. I have to break down this testimony. Somehow. Okay. Also meine Theorie ist jetzt, dass der eigentliche Moment, wo sie denken, dass sie den Gunshot gehört haben, den Pistolenschuss, dass sie eigentlich nur die Firecracker gehört haben und dann reingelaufen sind und Barock auch das gehört hat und dadurch auf die Waffe aufmerksam geworden ist, die da lag. Aber eigentlich, das ist jetzt meine Theorie, ich weiß es natürlich nicht, aber eigentlich war Gregson schon tot. Eigentlich war schon vorher, denke ich mal, der wahre Mörder drin und hat ihn getötet, was auch den Kerzenständer erklären würde, weil wenn schon vorher jemand drin war, dann hätte er die Kerzen abschießen können, beziehungsweise Gregson abschießen können und aber die Kerze treffen können. Und wenn Barock dann eingetroffen wäre, wären die Kerzen dann schon aus gewesen. So würde ich mir das jetzt erklären. Wer es war, weiß ich nicht, ob das überhaupt nah dran ist an dem, was das Spiel hier eigentlich erzählen will, weiß ich auch nicht, aber es wäre, denke ich, eine mögliche Erklärung. Aber wir werden sehen. The witness's account. We saw the whole thing from start to finish. We did. Everything from the moment they went in the building. Hold it! When you say they, who do you mean exactly? Inspector Gregson, the defendant, Lord Van Zieks. I suppose so. The likes of us don't know the names of the high and mighty. But I'll tell you one thing. It was the old Reaper that went in last, that's for sure and certain. Just behind Inspector Gregson. Did they arrive at the same time as each other? No, not at all. The first fella must have gone inside a good 15 minutes before we heard that gunshot. The victim arrived 15 minutes before. Are you sure about that? Okay, dann ist er nur ein 15 Minuten Zeitfenster. Vielleicht doch nicht so plausibel für meine Erklärung. Am I sure? Am I sure? Does it seem likely that have forgotten a fella with bright red hair like that, does it? Yeah, its hair really were wet, weren't it? Wetter than my flaming fireworks even. That fiery wet mop still burned on the inside of my eyelids, it is. Wait a minute, you're saying the man was a wethead? Weren't you listening, chum? Aye, he was a wethead, and he had a big trunk with him as well. But Inspector Gregson's hair isn't red, not by any stretch of the imagination. It seems likely that the person you saw wasn't in fact Inspector Gregson at all, but some other third party. Wet hair like that, does it? Okay, das ist interessant. It seems likely that the person you saw wasn't in fact Inspector Gregson at all, but some other third party. No, I hate to break it to you, but the witnesses are correct. What? Just have a look at this photograph of the victim taken at the scene. Yes, that's Inspector Gregson, alright. And a wet hairpiece. Ah! Of course, we saw one on the floor when we investigated the scene, didn't we? I still refuse to believe Inspector Gregson wore a hairpiece though. So then why on earth would he have been wearing something like that? The color does seem to suit the man, one might say. The photograph will be submitted as evidence. Please, counsel. The photograph of the victim has been entered into the court record. A photographic print of the victim, Inspector Gregson. His body appears to be tightly curled up and there's a red hairpiece on head. On head or on the head? On his head, okay. Und da liegt er, der Arme. Oh Mann. And what became of the trunk that the red-headed victim was supposedly carrying? I was informed that no trunk was found at the scene. So it just disappeared. Okay, the Koffer. What? Do you expect us to have been watching the building every second, do you? We definitely saw him in the dark going in, though. No question about that. Aber, hat er was von einem Trunk auch gesagt? Investigate the scene, didn't we? That's okay. And he had a big, okay. It was less than a minute after the Reaper had gone inside that we all heard a big bang. Hold it! By which presumably you mean the gunshot. I say these little things, don't I? How would I know what a gunshot sounds like? But I've always thought it probably sounds a bit like this, doesn't it? And you say that you heard the noise almost as soon as you saw the defendant here enter the building. That's right, it was almost straight away. Bang, it went, just like that. Well, he's a Reaper, isn't he? It's what the French call a fait accompli. A fait accompli. When the Reaper's around, people are going in the ground. I mean, that's what he does, isn't it? I think we get the message. The Reaper couldn't allow the Inspector to live after he discovered his secret hideout. There can be no clearer motive for the crime. Yes. It's certainly an eminently credible move. Great. And at that point, you went inside, is that correct? Seems to me that quick to talk is quick to walk. Gossip couldn't wait to go and see what had happened. Hold it! So, when Gossip went to see what had happened, did you go too? Well, me, I'm a bit hampered, see? All the signs are that I can't move very well. You were away behind, presumably, with that sandwich brought around your neck and that big sign in your hand. What a great burden you bear. Pardon me for asking, Mr. Sandwich, but is it possible you and I have met before? I'm not anybody, me. The signs are what makes me who I am now. I sign, therefore I am. So, you weren't employed as an omnibus driver just under a year ago then? I might be mistaken, but I believe his trembling has intensified, Mr. Naruhodo. Yes, I agree. He's really been through a lot. The armor. Turn down King Henry Street and the Black Widow's Arms is just there. Oh dear, you've made him hide behind the sign. Life is full of surprises. I went into the room and there he was, the Reaper, gun in hand, standing over the dead body. Hold it! So then, you were the first person to arrive on the scene, is that right? That I was. I kicked the door open like a professional, I did, and yelled out, "What's going off here?" Lord Van Zieks claims all he heard was a man scream though. And was it dark inside the room? No, not dark at all. There were candles burning on the wall. Really? And there was a fella collapsed on the floor. Just between us. It's the first thing I noticed when I got inside. I see. Even though Lord Van Zieks claims not to have seen any such light on the wall. The next thing I noticed was someone standing right beside the body. Wie sieht das aus, wenn du reinkommst? Die Tür sieht doch aus... Naja gut, sie könnte auch nach oben hin öffnen, aber wenn sie nach unten hin öffnet, dann würde sie sich ja hier nach rechts öffnen. Dann würde man den Körper ja nicht sofort sehen, oder? Weil die Tür dann im Weg ist. I don't know. Das sind nur Überlegungen von mir, Leute. Don't pinpoint me on it. The next thing I noticed was someone standing right beside the body. The accused, Verkäufer Van Zieks. That's right, the pale-faced Reaper himself. I was a little shocked, I won't deny it, but I'm no livy-livered coward. Denn on the other side würde ich sagen, wenn Barock hier stand, direkt neben dem Körper, dann ist es klar, dass wenn er reinkommt und dann hinter der Tür ist, die Tür geschlossen hat, dass er dann, dass das erste ist, was er sieht. Weil das andere ist ja wenig unnormal, außer dass es vielleicht so leer ist. Vielleicht falsche Überlegung von mir, I don't know. I was a little shocked, I won't deny it, but I'm no lily-livered coward. I stood my ground and gave that Reaper a cold hard stare myself. Was hat Sandwich dazu zu sagen?
Excuse me.
Do you have something to add, Mr. Sandwich? There's really nothing to me. Empty in the head I am. Just 2 slices with no middle. So I don't know what you could want with me. I think that maybe you just remembered something. Having heard Mr. Gossip's last statement, I mean. What I think is, we are all nothing, sweetie. We try to dress ourselves up as something else, but at the end of the day, we are all just street sellers. That's enough out of you, Sandwich. Keep your trap shut now. Unless you want us to make you into a real sandwich. When he saw the Reaper, he fell clean over on his backside. Okay. That's it? Oh, you rotten beggar. I told you to keep that a secret. He screamed, he did. Screamed and scrambled off on all fours. That's all I wanted to say. Mr. Gossip, is this true? The floor was dead slippery, that's why. Also es hat umgefallen. Planted my hand in a filthy pool of blood, didn't I? Yuck. What? A pool of blood? But listen here, even when I was sprawled on the floor, I still kept giving that Reaper a cold hard stare. And don't you forget it. Let's just go back a little. Did you say you got blood on your hand? I did, Happens to the best of us at times, doesn't it? Happens to the best okay. So I was scared, so I slipped over. We can keep it just between us, can't we? No, Mr. Gossip. I'm going to have to ask you to add that information to your formal testimony. Oh, if I must. The witness will amend his testimony to include the aforementioned details at once. Okay.